Hey guys, welcome back to the brand new video. So I have a project in mind and I've already started working on some of the prototypes for this project, and it's going to be a big project, and I'm planning on making the Battle of Umbara. So here is an Umbara, one of the Lego minifigures. Let's see if the camera will focus on him. There we go. So I'm planning on making a Umbaran MOC. Now, I'm not planning on making a small Umbara MOC, I'm planning on making a big MOC. This is going to be the biggest MOC I've ever made. That's what the plan is. So I haven't really designed, I've done a rough design of it, but what I actually designed for what I actually want to have in it, the design wasn't big enough. I'm going to have to make it even bigger. So we're talking a pretty large MOC. Now, there's a few features I want to have within this MOC. One of them being lights. One of them being things that move. So not necessarily remote control things. These are a couple of examples of the things I have made animated, but I then need to improve the models to make them better for the final piece. So for people who haven't watched the Star Wars: The Clone Wars, you probably won't have an understanding of what I'm talking about. For people who do, the Battle of Umbara lasted over 4 episodes of season 4, I believe, and it was one of my favorite episodes of all time. So I've tried to create the I don't know the name of the creature, but the creature that lives in the ground and eats people. It sounds very terrifying. So these are pretty much, this is the first prototype I made of the creature. I did nick the these bonnet pieces off of this part, because this is his mouth, and then these are his arm things. These arm things aren't this isn't the final piece. I don't actually have the parts that I will get for the final product. Lego actually do black tentacle pieces, so I will be ordering 6 of them, and we're trying to make them as long and grasping as possible. So this is the first thing I kind of come up with. This took quite a lot of engineering, and then this is the second thing that I come up with. This is its mouth, so I kind of focused on its tentacles, focused on its mouth, and then my next project will be to combine the two together and have kind of an amalgamation of the two. This over here is nothing very, well, it is kind of clever. All it is a large motor, or an extra large motor. Get it to zoom in on that. There we go. So it's an extra large motor that is geared down. Not quite sure on the ratio, but you got a small gear driving a big gear, which then goes to this 1-to-1. This 1-to-1 then goes into the small gear, back to the big gear, and comes out of this one. And the reason why there's 3 outputs here is because I'm planning on having more than one thing motorized, but I'm planning on having only one motor, only one battery pack. The lights probably won't be Lego. It'll probably be like Life lights or something like that. So that will need a different power supply, but I'll probably get the USB version, or plug into the wall and have everything all hardwired in that way. So this is the start of it. I'm now going to show you guys what the arms look like first, and then I'm going to show you what the mouth looks like in animation using this motor. Okay, so it's all connected up. That lighting's probably not the best. I'm trying to move my lamp a little bit. So the motor's all connected up. So now if I turn it on, this is what happens. So that is the concept of what I'm going to have happen to the arms. If I can disconnect the motor like that, it's just a simple axle piece. I can't really show you underneath, but this is basically what happens. So you can kind of see a bit more of it in there. See if I can get the camera to focus on the actual Lego and not to the table. So you can kind of see in there, there's a lot of these Technic gears. For people who are really interested, I'm trying to make this MOC very technical, very engineering. Being an engineer myself, or an engineer apprentice, I want to kind of use my knowledge and the things I learn to kind of put them to good use. So for people who are interested in how this actually works, there is a bar that goes in here that then has a 90-degree axle going in that direction along there, and then that's then drives these two end ones, and then there's another 90 degrees, one going that way, one going that way. So in total there's 3 axles pointing in the horizontal or the vertical, if we're looking at it this way, going in the vertical direction or going forwards, and then there's one axle then going sideways, which drives this one and this one. Is also, and everything's powered from this one axle there. So that's how all of this works. The next step is to get this to work around the mouth, which I'm now going to show you. Okay, so this is all connected up. Let's go ahead and turn the battery pack on. Okay, so that's basically the movement that I want the mouth to have. I kind of want to have a chomping effect, but there will be a 501st Clone Trooper in the arms of the beast. Now, one of the main problems I'm going to have with this design of putting the two of them together is the fact that with this design and this design over here on the left for the tentacles has an axle that goes to the center and then axles coming out. Whereas if you look here at this design of the mouth, it's going to be pretty hard to get an axle to go through the center, since that's where the gears mesh, and then also going to the side, then that's where you've got the wheel and the bar that causes the rotation. So that's going to be a challenge. I do have a idea in my head of how I'm going to get around it. It's going to involve going out and around, literally. But what I'm also going to have to do is this is just a rough sketch. I did this one this morning to remind myself to do the sketch, and then this is kind of an enlarged version, but I will do it on the computer, print it out, and then do it that way. So what I'm going to do is going to get some gridded paper, get a compass, put a center point, draw a circle, and then from that circle